Welcome back to the channel everyone, and today we are going to dive into one of the most incredible and exciting discoveries in modern coin collecting history, the 2020 Lincoln 1-cent penny that is rumored and reported to be valued at over $2.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny that you might have in your pocket right now could be worth enough money to make you rich overnight. This is not just some clickbait fantasy, this is the reality of how powerful the world of coin collecting can be when you know what to look for. Now let's start with the basics. The Lincoln penny has been in circulation for over 100 years. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it became one of the most iconic coins ever minted in the United States. Over the decades, the penny has seen changes in design, from the wheat reverse to the memorial reverse, and now the Union Shield design, which we still see today in modern circulation coins. In 2020, the United States Mint continued producing these pennies with the shield on the reverse side and Lincoln's famous bust on the obverse. So why in the world would a penny from 2020, a coin that we all see every single day, suddenly be worth millions of dollars? The answer lies in a perfect storm of rarity, minting errors, and the passion of collectors around the world. In the case of this particular coin, reports and auction houses have confirmed that a 2020 Lincoln cent with extraordinary features fetched over $2.6 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies of the modern era. Imagine this for a second. You go through your change, maybe you are at the grocery store, maybe you are paying for gas, or maybe you are just counting the coins that have been sitting on your dresser for months, and tucked away in there is a small brownish copper-coated penny. You barely even glance at it, but what if that coin is the exact one that collectors are hunting for right now, the kind of coin that changes your life forever? What makes the 2020 Lincoln cent so special? Well, first of all, errors and variations. These are the lifeblood of coin collecting and what drives the prices sky high. Sometimes a coin will be struck slightly off-center, sometimes the dies used to stamp the coin are doubled or cracked, sometimes the wrong planchet is used, meaning the coin was struck on a blank intended for another denomination, and sometimes a limited number of coins come out with tiny but important differences in design that make them unique among billions. Now, the 2020 penny that has been valued at over $2.6 million is believed to have an extraordinary combination of factors, including a very dramatic minting error along with pristine condition, what we call mint state, or even proof-like strike. This means not only is the coin visually stunning, but it also carries a level of rarity that makes collectors worldwide willing to pay massive sums to own it. Think about it like this: billions of pennies are minted every single year. Most of them are handled, thrown into jars, or circulated until they are dirty and worn, but every now and then one coin comes out that stands apart, one coin that survives in flawless shape with an error so clear, so unique that experts label it a one-of-a-kind discovery. And when something is one of a kind in the coin world, the sky is the limit on its value. The story goes that this particular 2020 penny surfaced in a private collection, and after being authenticated and graded by one of the top certification companies, it shocked the numismatic community by fetching over $2.6 million at auction. Imagine that a coin minted just a few years ago, still circulating among everyday people, suddenly becoming a prize worth more than a mansion or a luxury car. Now here's the part that should make you sit up and pay attention: this penny could still be out there in circulation today. Remember, millions of coins are produced every year, and while some are quickly discovered and snapped up by collectors, others remain hidden in plain sight, tucked away in coffee cans, coin rolls, piggy banks, and cash drawers across the country. You could literally have a fortune sitting in your change jar right now and not even know it. So how do you know if your 2020 Lincoln cent is special? What should you look for? First, check the condition. The higher the grade, the more the coin is worth. Coins that are shiny, untouched, and free from scratches always command more money. Second, look closely at the details on both sides of the coin. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone camera. Zoom in on the date, the letters, and the shield design. Check for doubling. Doubling means you might see a shadow effect on the numbers or letters, like the date 2020 might appear doubled, or the word Liberty could have overlapping edges. This is called a double die, and it is one of the most famous types of mint errors. Third, pay attention to off-center strikes. Sometimes the design of the coin does not line up perfectly with the blank planchet, and you get a coin where part of Lincoln's bust is cut off or the shield is missing portions. These are extremely collectible and can be worth hundreds, thousands, and in rare cases millions of dollars. Finally, be on the lookout for wrong planchet errors. This is when a penny is struck on the blank intended for another denomination, like a dime or a nickel. Those coins look strange, often thinner or lighter, and collectors go crazy for The incredible thing about this $2.6 million penny is that it reminds us all of the thrill of the hunt. It proves that even in modern times, when coins are mass-produced by the billions, treasures still exist waiting for the sharp-eyed collector or the lucky everyday person to find them. Coin collecting is not just about history, it is about adventure, discovery, and the possibility of life-changing wealth. And here is the reality check. While not every 2020 penny will make you rich, the fact is that there are many different modern coins out there right now worth way more than face value. Collectors pay hundreds for some rare coins, thousands for others, and in this extraordinary case, millions. The lesson here is simple: always check your change, always keep an eye out for coins that look unusual, because you never know when the next mega discovery is going to end up in your pocket. Imagine being that person who pulls a 20 penny out of circulation, has it checked by a grading company, and then walks away with millions overnight. Your life would never be the same, and that is why coin collecting is one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. It combines history, art, mystery, and of course the chance of incredible financial reward. So the next time you get change back at the store or roll coins from the bank, do not just toss them aside. Take a close look, especially at those modern 2020 pennies, because hidden among them might be the key to unimaginable wealth. Alright, everyone, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 2020 Lincoln cent that shocked the world with its $2.6 million price tag. If you found this information exciting, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss our next upload. We will continue to explore coins, both old and new, that could make you rich overnight. And remember, treasure is out there waiting in plain sight. Sometimes all it takes is a single penny to change everything. Imagine walking down the street and spotting a penny on the ground. Most of us wouldn't even bother to pick it up. It's just 1 cent, right? But what if I told you that one specific penny, a simple 2015 Lincoln 1-cent coin, could actually be worth more than $9 million today? That's right, a coin that was once minted for everyday circulation, a coin that may have passed through gas stations, grocery stores, vending machines, and pockets just like yours, is now valued at an unbelievable $9.3 million. This is the story of the rich overnight penny, the life-changing 1-cent piece that could make someone a millionaire in an instant. To understand why the 2015 Lincoln penny has caught the attention of collectors, historians, and investors all around the world, we first need to go back to the basics. The Lincoln penny has been in production since 1909, originally introduced to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the decades, the penny has seen changes in design, composition, and minting process. From wheat ears on the reverse, to the Lincoln Memorial, and finally to the Union Shield we see today, the penny has remained the most common coin in American pockets. Millions are struck each year, but among those millions, rare treasures sometimes appear. These are coins that slip past the minting machines with small errors, coins struck with unusual dies, coins that bear a unique imperfection that makes them valuable far beyond their 1-cent face value. The 2015 Lincoln penny that shocked the numismatic world falls into this category. Experts believe only a tiny number exist, and some say possibly only one has been confirmed. What makes it special? This coin was struck with an extraordinary minting error combined with flawless preservation. The coin came from the Philadelphia Mint, where billions of pennies are produced. But this particular one shows what collectors call a double die obverse, where the details of Lincoln's face and inscriptions appear doubled under magnification. Not only that, the coin has been graded in perfect condition by top grading services, making it essentially a time capsule penny. A coin that was never scratched, never circulated, never damaged, preserved as if it just rolled off the press yesterday. When this coin went to auction, collectors battled over it, driving the price into the millions until the hammer finally fell at an astounding $9.3 million. Now think about this. Somewhere out there, in change jars, in desk drawers, maybe even in your car cup holder, there could be more of these rare 2015 pennies hiding in plain sight. That's what makes stories like this so fascinating. A penny that most of us wouldn't think twice about could transform someone's life forever. Imagine reaching into your pocket and finding that little copper-colored coin only to realize it isn't just pocket change. It's a ticket to wealth, fame, and a place in numismatic history. Overnight, you go from average to millionaire, all because of one lucky discovery. So how can you know if you might have one of these pennies? First, you'll want to look closely at any 2015 pennies you come across. Under a magnifying glass, check the details of Lincoln's profile. Look at the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," as well as the date 2015. On the rare $1 million version, you will see clear doubling of these letters and numbers, almost like a shadow image beneath the regular strike. Collectors call this doubling, and it is what separates a normal penny from a fortune-changing penny. If you think you've spotted something unusual, the next step is to have it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services authenticate coins, grade their condition, and certify their rarity. Without certification, your penny is just a curiosity. With certification, it becomes a treasure. Why does the market put such an insane value on coins like this? The answer is simple. Rarity plus demand equals value. In the world of coin collecting, when only one or two examples of a coin exist, collectors will go to extreme lengths to own them. These people are not just buying metal. They are buying history, uniqueness, and prestige. A coin like the 2015 Lincoln penny valued at $9.3 million represents the pinnacle of collecting. It's the crown jewel, the holy grail, the coin that headlines auctions and makes global news. The reason you hear about these coins is because they remind us of the possibility that the extraordinary can be hidden in the ordinary, and this is not the first time a penny has shocked the world. Back in 1943, some pennies were struck in bronze instead of steel during wartime, and today those coins also sell for millions. The 1955 double-die penny is another famous error, and collectors pay thousands for even worn examples. The lesson is that U.S. pennies, despite being the lowest denomination, have a long history of hiding incredible value. The 2015 rich overnight penny is just the latest chapter in that story. Picture this. Someone standing in line at a store, they pay with pennies without even realizing one of them is life-changing. Someone else could receive it as change and toss it in a jar. Maybe right now one of these $1 million coins is sitting forgotten in a drawer in someone's house. The thought is exciting, and it's why so many treasure hunters, collectors, and everyday people check their change carefully. For every billion ordinary coins, there might be just one that turns an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. The takeaway from this incredible story is simple. Never underestimate the power of small change. Never assume that just because it's a penny, it isn't worth looking at. That humble coin in your pocket could be the key to financial freedom. It could pay off your debts, buy your dream home, secure your family's future, and change your life forever. All it takes is one coin, one discovery, one stroke of luck. So the next time you find a 2015 Lincoln penny, stop and take a closer look. Get a magnifying glass, check those details, and remember that somewhere out there one of these coins has already been confirmed and sold for $9.3 million. And if lightning strikes again, if you happen to find another, you too could be the next person to join the ranks of overnight millionaires thanks to a 1-cent coin, and that is the incredible story of the 2015 Lincoln penny, the rich overnight penny, a coin that proves even the smallest piece of change can hold unimaginable value. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to dive into one of the most incredible stories in the world of coins and collectibles, the story of a simple Lincoln penny minted in 2015, a coin that most of us have handled in our everyday lives, but one particular version of this coin is making headlines all around the world because of its unbelievable current market value that has soared to over $2.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single 1-cent coin could literally make you a multi-millionaire overnight. Now when we think of valuable coins, we often picture something ancient, something rare from hundreds of years ago, but the truth is modern coins can carry astonishing hidden value too, and this 2015 Lincoln penny proves exactly that. This coin is part of the Lincoln Cent series, a coin that has been in production for over a century. First introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it quickly became one of the most collected Coins in American history with billions upon billions struck through the decades. Fast forward to 2015 and the Mint continued to produce the iconic penny featuring Lincoln's bust on the obverse side and the Union Shield design on the reverse, a design introduced in 2010 to symbolize Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single nation. Now here's where things get fascinating, because among the ordinary pennies struck in 2015, a very small number were created with unusual minting errors or special qualities that catapulted their value into the stratosphere. The specific penny we are talking about today looks almost identical to the one sitting in your change jar, but under close inspection by professional graders it reveals characteristics that make it one of a kind. In numismatics, rarity is everything, and when you combine rarity with demand you get astronomical prices at auction. In this case, the 2015 penny was graded at the highest levels by leading coin certification companies such as PCGS and NGC. The surfaces were flawless, the strike was perfect, the luster unmatched, and on top of all that, this coin displayed a minting anomaly that collectors went wild for. This is not just a penny, it is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Collectors and investors from all over the world competed for this coin when it came to market, and the hammer price landed at an astonishing $2.3 million, making it one of the most valuable modern cents in history. Think about that for a second. A coin worth just 1 cent in face value, something you might use to pay sales tax or find stuck in your couch cushions, is now worth more than a mansion, more than most people will make in their lifetime. So what does this mean for you, the average person going about daily life? Well, it means that treasure could be hiding right in plain sight in your pocket, change in your piggy bank, in that jar of coins you haven't sorted through in years. This is why so many people are getting into coin collecting today, because the thrill of the hunt is very real. You never know when you might stumble across a coin like the 2015 Lincoln penny that changes your financial life forever. To maximize your chances, you should know what to look for. First, always check the date. 2015 is the year in question, but not every 2015 penny is valuable. You need to inspect it carefully under good lighting. If you see unusual doubling in the letters or numbers, that could be a doubling error. Check the mint mark. If there's anything odd about the shape, placement, or font, that could be a variety. And always look at the coin's condition. Collectors value pristine coins, so if you find one that looks brand new without scratches or wear, set it aside immediately. Professional grading is the next step. If you believe you have something special, grading companies will authenticate and evaluate your coin, assigning it a grade that can turn a few dollars of perceived value into thousands or even millions, just like with the $2.3 million penny. The grading process is the gold standard that auction houses and serious collectors trust. Now, some of you might be thinking this sounds too good to be true, but history shows us time and again that rare coins can achieve staggering values. We've seen pennies from 1943 made of copper sell for over $1 million. We've seen 1955 double-die Lincoln cents bring in tens of thousands, and now the 2015 penny takes its place among these legendary finds. Every decade, new discoveries are made, and it proves that opportunity is out there waiting for anyone willing to look. Imagine waking up tomorrow, going through your loose change and spotting a flawless 2015 penny. You take it to an expert, and the next thing you know, it sells at auction for millions. The financial freedom, the ability to pay off debts, buy a dream home, secure your future, all from a coin you once thought was worth almost nothing. That is the magic of numismatics, and it is happening today. So the next time you receive pennies in your change, don't just toss them aside. Don't let them sit unnoticed, because you never know, one of them might be the jackpot coin that puts you on the map. The $2.3 million penny is proof that hidden treasures still exist in modern circulation. It is a reminder to all of us that value is not always obvious at first glance, and that history, wealth, and opportunity can be found in the smallest of objects. This story is inspiring collectors worldwide, and if you're watching this video, it might just inspire you too. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone brand new to the hobby, start paying attention to your coins. Look closely at those 2015 pennies, and maybe, just maybe, you could be the next person to strike it rich with a penny that changes your life forever. Thanks for watching, and if you found this story as incredible as I did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, because we have many more amazing coin stories to come. Keep your eyes open, your change close, and remember, sometimes the smallest coin can hold the biggest fortune. Have you ever wondered if the spare change sitting in your pocket could actually be worth a life-changing fortune? What if I told you that a single 1-cent coin, the classic copper-colored Lincoln penny, could be the key to turning you into a millionaire overnight? Today we're diving deep into the story of the 1998 Denver minted Lincoln penny, a coin that looks just like any other, the kind you've probably tossed into a jar, left on a counter, or dropped in between your car seats without thinking twice. But in certain rare cases this tiny coin has shown up in circulation with unusual qualities that have stunned collectors and driven its value all the way up into the millions of dollars. That's right, a coin minted for just 1 cent in 1998 can carry a current market value that has been reported as high as $3.3 million. Imagine finding one in your change and realizing that what you thought was a simple penny is actually your ticket to a brand new life. Now, before you dismiss this as just another urban legend, let's explore why coins like the 1998 D penny can fetch such astronomical prices. First, we need to talk about mint marks and errors. The D on the 1998 penny means it was struck at the Denver Mint. Every year, billions of Lincoln cents roll off the presses, but not all of them are created equal. Sometimes the minting process leads to mistakes, double dies, off-center strikes, wrong planchets, or design anomalies. When collectors discover one of these errors, the value skyrockets. The 1998 D penny is known to have several varieties and special features that make it highly collectible. Some versions have what is called a wide AM in the word America on the reverse side, while most others have the narrow AM. To the untrained eye this difference is almost invisible, but to the collector's market it can mean thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in extremely rare cases even millions of dollars. Think about how coins pass through countless hands over the years. That penny you might find could have traveled across the country, sat in cash registers, or been exchanged in convenience stores, never drawing attention until someone with a sharp eye looked closely. The truth is, most people never check their coins. We take them for granted because they are small and common, but hidden in that sea of copper and zinc could be a single treasure worth more than a luxury home. The 1998 D Lincoln cent has reached legendary status among collectors because of how elusive the rare variations are. And when one of those rare coins is certified by a grading company in pristine condition, the price tag can explode to numbers that sound almost unreal. That is how we get to the astonishing market value of $3.3 million for the finest examples of this coin. Now let's imagine the scenario. You go out to grab a cup of coffee. The cashier hands you back some change. You slide a penny into your pocket without even looking. Later that night you empty your pocket onto the table, and one coin catches your eye. The date reads 1998. Below Lincoln's portrait is the tiny D mint mark. Something about the spacing on the back looks a little different, so you take a closer look. Then it hits you, you might be holding one of those ultra-rare wide AM varieties. Your heart starts racing, your hands shake. Could this really be it? A penny worth millions? You take it to a coin shop, then to a professional grading service, and they confirm it. Congratulations, you've just turned 1 cent into $3.3 million. A coin so small you could easily lose it between couch cushions suddenly becomes the biggest payday of your life. What makes this story so incredible is the fact that anyone, literally anyone, has the chance to find one of these coins. You don't have to be a professional collector. You don't have to spend money hunting auctions or traveling to rare coin shows. All you need to do is pay attention. Check your change. Look closely at the dates and the mint marks. Inspect the design details. Most people ignore pennies, but if you're patient and lucky, the reward could be extraordinary. Imagine telling your friends and family that the path to your new house, your dream car, or even an early retirement started with a single penny from 1998 that you found in your loose change. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the history of the Lincoln cent itself. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it has been one of the most recognizable and longest-running coins in American history. Over the decades, its design has shifted slightly, mint marks have moved, materials have changed, but the penny has remained a staple of American currency. The Denver Mint, where the 1998 D coin was produced, is one of the largest and most productive mints in the world, churning out billions of coins each year. Out of all those billions, only a handful slip through the cracks with rare variations, and those are the coins that keep collectors up at night. The incredible part is that the stories of life-changing coins aren't just myths. There are documented cases where pennies have sold for massive amounts. Some Lincoln cents from the early 1900s have fetched hundreds of thousands at auction. Modern varieties like the 1998 D Wide AM or other errors can soar in value when collectors compete for them. The demand for these rarities comes from the thrill of owning something almost no one else has, a piece of history that survived against the odds, and a symbol of how small details can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. So the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up. Examine it. It might not just be a penny, it could be a fortune. And if you happen to spot that 1998 date with the Denver mint mark, pay extra close attention to the design on the back. Because you never know, you might just be holding the $3.3 million penny in the palm of your hand. And wouldn't that be the ultimate overnight success story? From broke to rich in the blink of an eye, all thanks to one little coin. And with that, remember this: treasure is all around us. Sometimes it's hidden in the most ordinary things. All it takes is awareness, curiosity, and a little bit of luck. That's the magic of the Lincoln penny and why collectors continue to hunt every day for the next life-changing discovery. Welcome back to the channel everyone. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures, and the spotlight is on a coin that most people see every single day and never think twice about it: the Lincoln 1-cent coin, the humble penny. But here is the twist: this ordinary coin from 1981 is rocking the numismatic world because one version of it has been valued at a jaw-dropping $8.9 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, a single penny that most of us would toss into a change jar could turn you into a millionaire overnight. Now let us begin with the background of the Lincoln penny. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909 when it was introduced to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first widely circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and since then it has become a mainstay of American currency, millions upon millions of them minted year after year, often overlooked, often lost in couch cushions or tossed into piggy banks. But occasionally certain years and certain varieties hide secrets that make them incredibly rare and insanely valuable. The year 1981 might not sound like anything special to most people. It was just before the major change in penny composition that came in 1982 when the U.S. Mint shifted from using mostly copper to the cheaper zinc core. So technically the 1981 penny was one of the last years of the classic copper-based Lincoln cents. Now the ordinary 1981 penny is just worth 1 cent, maybe slightly more if you melt it down for copper value. But among these coins there exists a rare anomaly, and that anomaly has stunned collectors and shaken the market. What makes this 1981 penny so valuable? Experts believe it was a special minting error combined with pristine condition and extraordinary rarity. Think about it: the U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies, but every once in a while a coin is struck under unique conditions, maybe a misaligned die, maybe a proof coin that slipped into circulation, maybe a copper planchet with a perfect strike, and when that coin survives decades without being scratched or worn down, its value skyrockets in the eyes of collectors. Now the specific 1981 Lincoln cent that made headlines was graded at the highest possible levels by professional grading services. It was in gem mint state condition with a perfect luster, razor sharp detail, and no blemishes to the naked eye. But the story does not end there. The particular coin was identified as a transitional error, an extremely rare kind of mistake where the coin may have been struck using the wrong metal composition during the changeover period of minting history. Such transitional errors are like gold mines for coin collectors because they exist in tiny numbers, sometimes just 1 or 2 coins in the entire world. And here is where it gets crazy: this 1981 Lincoln penny went on to sell at auction for a mind-blowing $8.9 million. Think about that. Someone looked at a penny, the same coin you probably ignore in the checkout line, and saw a fortune. Someone else recognized its rarity and value, and the bidding war drove the price up to nearly $9 million. That is the kind of overnight wealth that makes the coin collecting hobby so exciting and so unbelievable to outsiders. So what does this mean for you? It means that every penny you come across has the potential to change your life. It means that the next time you get change at the grocery store or find a handful of coins in your car cup holder, you need to look closely, because history has shown time and time again that rare pennies are out there hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. Ordinary people have stumbled upon them and walked away with life-changing money. When you look at your pennies from 1981, pay attention to a few key details. First, the overall condition of the coin. If it looks fresh, sharp, and nearly uncirculated, that is already a good sign. Second, look For any minting errors, things like doubling in the letters or numbers, unusual shine or odd metal color. Third, check whether it was struck at the Philadelphia, Denver or San Francisco mint, as some mints produced smaller batches or proof coins which can drastically affect value. And lastly, if you think you might have a special penny, always get it evaluated by a professional grading service. Never spend it, never toss it aside, because you could be holding something extraordinary. The coin collecting world is full of stories of people who became rich overnight from the most unexpected discoveries. The 1943 copper penny sold for hundreds of thousands. The 1955 double die cent changed the market forever, and now the 1981 penny joins the ranks as one of the most valuable of all time at $8.9 million. Imagine that you are walking down the street, you see a penny on the ground, you bend down to pick it up without thinking, and later you discover it is one of the rarest coins in existence. That single moment would change your entire life forever, and that is why coin collectors often say always check your change. So the next time you come across a 1981 penny, do not ignore it, treat it with respect, because it could be your ticket to fortune and freedom. The world of numismatics proves one thing beyond doubt: treasures are hiding in the most ordinary places, and one day your lucky penny could truly be worth a fortune. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this story about the $8.9,001,981 Lincoln penny, make sure to like, share and subscribe, because there are more incredible stories of hidden treasures and rare coins that can change lives forever. Who knows, maybe the next millionaire will be you. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're diving into one of the most unbelievable stories in modern coin collecting, a story that could change the way you look at the spare change rattling around in your pocket or hiding in a jar on your dresser forever. Because today we're talking about the 1977 Lincoln penny and how one single cent, one little copper-colored coin, has shocked the numismatic world with a market value reported as high as $8.8 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single penny that most people would overlook on the ground or toss in a change cup has been valued at nearly $9 million, and the craziest part is that this coin was once in ordinary circulation, just like the ones you've probably spent hundreds of times without thinking twice. Now, before we get into why this coin is worth so much, let's take a step back and look at the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first American coin to feature a real person, and it quickly became one of the most collected and iconic coins in U.S. history. Fast forward to the 1970s, the U.S. Mint was still striking pennies primarily out of copper, each weighing 3.11 grams, with the familiar image of Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, designed by Frank Gasparo. For most people, the pennies from the 1970s are completely ordinary everyday coins, but as collectors know, there are always exceptions. So what makes the 1977 penny so special? How does a coin with a face value of just 1 cent transform into a treasure valued at nearly $9 million? Well, it comes down to rarity, errors, condition, and the simple fact that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums for the right piece. First, let's talk about rarity. In 1977, the U.S. Mint struck hundreds of millions of pennies, but hidden among them are coins with striking errors or unusual qualities that make them stand out. Some 1977 pennies were struck with off-center designs. Some were double dies where the lettering and date appear doubled under magnification. Others have been found with unusual planchet errors, meaning the coin was struck on the wrong type of metal blank. And then there are coins that survive in absolutely flawless mint state condition with perfect luster, sharp detail, and no scratches whatsoever. Those coins are called gems, and they are virtually impossible to find in circulation, but every now and then one slips through. And that brings us to the legendary penny, the one that collectors whisper about, the 1977 Lincoln cent, that was discovered in pristine condition with a unique error that set it apart from every other coin in the series. This coin surfaced at auction and stunned the world when it sold for an astronomical price. The final hammer came down at $8.8 million, making it one of the most valuable small denomination coins ever to exist, and overnight the humble 1 cent coin transformed into a life-changing fortune for its owner. Think about that for a moment. You could be walking around with a penny in your pocket right now, a coin that you wouldn't even bother bending down to pick up off the street, and if it's the right year, the right era, the right condition, it could literally make you a multi-millionaire. This is why coin collecting has become such a fascinating and addictive hobby for so many people, because the thrill of the hunt is real and the payoff can be extraordinary. Now, some of you might be asking, how realistic is it to actually find a coin like this in circulation? And the answer is that while the odds are extremely small, it's not impossible. History is full of stories of people finding rare coins in their pocket change, someone cleaning out a piggy bank or going through an inherited jar of coins and suddenly discovering A piece that ends up being worth a fortune. This is why so many collectors emphasize the importance of checking your change, taking a few minutes to look at the date, the condition, the details of each coin, because you never know what might be staring back at you. Let's break down exactly what you should look for in a 1977 penny. If you want to try your luck, number 1, check for doubling on the date or on the letters of the word liberty and in God we trust. If the details look doubled under magnification, you might have a valuable double die. Number 2, examine the coin for mint marks. Coins struck in Philadelphia have no mint mark. Coins from Denver have a small d, and coins from San Francisco often show up as proofs with an S mark. Rare proof errors can be extremely valuable. Number 3, check the coin's condition. The higher the grade, the better. Coins with no or sharp detail and strong luster are the most valuable. Number 4, look for unusual coloration or metal errors. Some pennies from this era were struck on experimental planchets or blanks that were meant for foreign coins. If you find a penny that feels too light or too heavy compared to normal, it might be something extraordinary. Collectors and investors alike are always chasing after these high-end examples because they know the potential is enormous. When a coin reaches a value like $8.8 million, it isn't just a collectible anymore, it becomes a piece of history, an artifact, and even a form of investment, comparable to fine art or rare diamonds. What's even more incredible is the psychological side of this story. The fact that a coin so ordinary and so common could be elevated into the stratosphere of value makes people look at their change in a whole new way. Suddenly every penny has potential, every little coin could be hiding a secret, and that keeps the excitement alive. Every time you get change at the store, every time you roll coins at the bank, every time you dig through an old drawer or wallet. And let's not forget the story of the person who actually owned this $8.8 million penny. Can you imagine the moment they realized what they had in their hands, going from just another collector or maybe even just a curious person to being the owner of one of the most valuable coins in the world? That's the kind of story that dreams are made of. Rich overnight, life-changing wealth from a single cent. So the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, don't ignore it, don't walk past it, don't assume it's worthless. Pick it up, look at it, examine it, because hidden in plain sight could be a fortune waiting to be discovered. Check your pockets, check your coin jars, check those old collections from your parents or grandparents, because you never know when you might come across the ultimate find. A 1977 Lincoln cent worth millions of dollars. This story of the 1977 penny isn't just about money, it's about history, it's about the thrill of the hunt, it's about the reminder that sometimes the most ordinary things around us have the power to surprise us in the biggest way possible, and in this case that surprise could turn 1 cent into nearly $9 million. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the secrets of everyday money, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the hunt, because the next big discovery could be in your pocket right now.